In a world that never stops talking, the one who remains silent is the one who holds true power and total control of the situation. We often mistake negotiation for the art of persuasion, or simply speaking the loudest. But in reality, it is the art of strategic self-restraint and absolute patience. Silence is not a void to be filled. It is a weapon to be wielded. True strength does not lie in the echo of your words. Time actually slows down for the person who is comfortable with stillness. Every single second of silence builds a mountain of invisible pressure on the other side. When you stop speaking, you start observing. When you stop defending yourself, you start commanding the energy of the room without saying a single word at all. Most people are absolutely terrified of the quiet. They feel a desperate, burning need to fill the air with noise, just to escape their own rising internal anxiety. Our brains are hardwired to react to social voids. Evolutionarily speaking, being isolated from the tribe meant danger, and silence feels like isolation. Silence triggers a primitive biological response, a deep discomfort that many people simply cannot handle for very long periods. Watch closely. As the opponent begins to sweat, their discomfort is your leverage. Their desperate need to speak is the exact opening you have been waiting for. This psychological gap creates an irresistible urge for the other person to offer more information. They will offer more concessions and reveal more secrets. Just to bridge the void, they suffer from a unique kind of anxiety, the fear of missing out on your approval. They will throw their best arguments and their weakest fears into that silence, hoping you will react. But you must remain as still as a mountain. The pressure is completely invisible, yet it is heavier than any threat you could ever utter. It forces the other party to negotiate with their own mind. In a professional setting, the one who speaks first after a bold claim usually loses. Let us say you are negotiating the price of a car, or closing a massive business deal. The salesman gives you their so-called final offer, expecting you to push back, to complain, to argue. Instead, you look at the paper, and you say absolutely nothing. You just look at them. 5 seconds pass. 10 seconds pass. The air becomes incredibly thick. They start to second-guess their own pricing. They start negotiating against themselves. Well, I might be able to talk to my manager to lower this fee, they say, before you have even made a counteroffer. You won that round, purely through the sheer gravity of your silence. To master this, you must first master the 4-second rule. When they finish speaking, do not immediately reply. Count to 4 in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you even think about opening your mouth to respond. Do not nod. Do not shake your head. Let their offer hang in the cold air, becoming more awkward and less certain with every passing second. In many cases, they will take your silence as a rejection and start bidding against themselves. They will offer you a better deal before you even ask for one. But silence without the right physical presence is just submission. You must pair your silence with unyielding body language. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. Let your shoulders drop and relax, signaling that you are completely unbothered. Maintain soft, steady eye contact, and do not stare aggressively, but do not look away first. When you look away first, you break the spell, and you hand the power right back to them. Hold their gaze with a relaxed facial expression, a face that gives away absolutely nothing. This combination of physical stillness and verbal silence creates an aura of intimidation that words can never match. Emotions are like violent storms in a negotiation. Instead of fighting the wind, you must label the clouds, so they lose their power to strike you. By naming their emotion out loud, you move the conversation from the emotional centers of their brain to the rational ones. This effectively disarms their inner defense mechanisms. Tactical empathy is not about being nice. It is about demonstrating that you understand their position so deeply that they no longer feel the need to fight you. Mirroring is the simplest yet most effective way to keep them talking while you remain safe in the silence. Just repeat the last 3 critical words they said with a calm, curious tone. A calm, curious tone, they might ask, and then proceed to explain themselves further. It signals that you are listening intently and encourages them to elaborate. This quiet reflection often reveals the real motivations they were trying so hard to hide from you. Most people think yes is the ultimate goal, but yes is often a trap. No is where the real negotiation begins, because it makes people feel safe. When you allow someone to say no, you give them the illusion of control. And once they feel in control, they are much more open to listening to what you actually want. Personal attacks and loud demands are just noise in the wind. Imagine you are in a workplace meeting, and a colleague tries to undermine your work with a passive-aggressive remark. The natural instinct is to fire back, to defend your honor, to justify your actions. Do not fall for it. Look at them. Hold genuine eye contact, and remain entirely silent. Let their toxic words hang awkwardly in the air for everyone else to hear. Your silence will amplify their insecurity, making them look unprofessional. While you remain composed and untouchable, stay centered in your own silence, and let the storm pass around your steady frame. Consider how this works against someone who is naturally aggressive or highly narcissistic. These individuals feed on reactions. They throw verbal punches, hoping to see you flinch, hoping to see you get angry or defensive. Your emotional reaction is their fuel. When you respond with absolute silence, you starve them of that fuel. They do not know how to process a non-reaction. It breaks their psychological script. They expect a fight, or they expect submission. You give them neither. You give them a mirror reflecting their own poor behavior back at them. Eventually, they will retreat, because they realize they have hit a brick wall that they cannot break down. The person who needs the deal less is always the one who wins. Your lack of visible desire is your greatest shield and your sharpest sword. In a salary negotiation, once you state your number, stop talking immediately. The first person to speak after the number is revealed. It usually loses their leverage. In relationships, silence prevents escalation. It gives you the space to respond with wisdom, rather than reacting with hurt or anger in the heat of the moment. Information is currency. By speaking less, you keep your wealth, while the other person spends theirs. This leaves you with the ultimate advantage at the end of the day. Think about the highest stakes negotiations in the corporate world. The millions of dollars resting on a single conversation. The amateur rushes to fill the silence, afraid that the deal is slipping away. They offer unnecessary discounts. They agree to terms they never wanted to accept. The master negotiator simply waits. They know that the person on the other side of the table is feeling the exact same pressure. The only difference is who has the discipline to withstand it longer. Make the other side carry the heavy lifting of the conversation. Let them exhaust their energy. Let them lay all their cards on the table, while yours remain hidden safely against your chest. By doing this, you are not just negotiating a single deal, you are establishing your long-term value. You are training them on how to treat you in the future. They will leave that room knowing one thing for certain: you cannot be rushed, and you cannot be played. Negotiation is not a battle of words. It is a battle of wills. And the strongest will is the one that knows exactly when to stop. Wisdom often speaks through silence. Every great negotiator knows that the most profound insights are gathered when the mouth is closed and the mind is open. In the silence of the desert, you find clarity. In the silence of a boardroom, you find the path to victory that others are too loud to see. Negotiation is a game of chess, not a race. Your move is finished. Now let the silence force your opponent to reveal their next hidden strategy. The final signature often comes after a long pause. Do not rush the moment of decision. Let the silence seal the deal for you naturally. Time is an asset. When you are not afraid to waste it in silence, you show the world that your value is not tied to speed. Your words should be like a stone dropped into a still pond, intentional, rare, and creating ripples that change the environment long after the impact. To be still, in a moving world, is to have a superpower. You see what others miss, because they are too busy keeping up with the noise. Listen to your own heartbeat. It is the only rhythm you need to follow. When the pressure of the room begins to rise against you, great things are often achieved with the smallest of movements. A well-timed pause can change the entire trajectory of your professional and personal life. See the world as it is, not as you want it to be. Silence clears the fog of emotion and allows the raw truth to surface. Even when you are not speaking, you are communicating. Let silence be your compass. When you are lost in a difficult conversation, stop talking and let the quiet point you toward the right direction. The ocean is deep and silent, yet it holds more power than any storm. Emulate the water, be flexible, be deep, and be irresistibly strong. Command the stage with your presence alone. You do not need a script. When you have the confidence to exist in the spotlight without speaking, listening is a radical act of love and a tactical act of war. It is the most valuable skill you will ever master in your life. True wealth is the ability to walk away from a deal. Silence proves that you are not desperate for the gold being offered to you. Be the light in the room. When others are burning with anger or frozen with fear, your steady flame of silence provides the only comfort. Your intuition speaks in whispers. You can only hear it when you silence the roar of your own ego and the noise of the crowd. Every silence is a choice. Choose to be the one who listens, and you will always find yourself on the path to a better outcome. Your influence is like ink in water. A few well-chosen words, delivered after a long silence, will change the color of the entire conversation. Treat every interaction like a work of art. The blank spaces, the silences, are just as important as the lines and colors you choose to use. Just breathe. Your breath is the bridge between your mind and your body. Use it to maintain your silence. When the world gets loud, silence is the ultimate destination. When everything else is stripped away, the truth remains standing in the quiet, waiting for you to see it. Life is lived in the pauses. The most important decisions of your life will be made in the silent moments. Between the loud events, discover the hidden depths of your opponent. Silence acts as a lantern that reveals their true intentions, hiding in the dark corners of speech. Perspective is the ultimate weapon. From the silence of the moon, all human conflicts seem small and easily solvable through calm and quiet reason. A master negotiator is like a spider, patient, observant, and knowing that the web of silence is their most effective tool. Knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge requires silence. You must know when to keep a secret and when to let it go. Keep your focus sharp. Silence is the lens that allows you to see the target clearly and hit it with perfect precision every single time. Build your case with care. Each silence is a brick in the wall of your argument, making it stronger and more difficult to tear down. Be still and know that you are in control. The silence is not your enemy. It is your most loyal and powerful ally in every conflict. Real strength is quiet. It does not need to boast or shout. It simply exists. And, in its existence, it commands the respect of everyone. Follow the path of least resistance. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop pushing and let the silence take over. Win without fighting. Silence is the ultimate strategy for those who want to achieve their goals, without creating enemies or causing unnecessary pain. Stay calm in the face of pressure. Your silence is a sign of your inner peace, and it will eventually become contagious to those around you. Endure the noise and prevail through the silence. You are stronger than any argument and more powerful than any loud and empty threat today. Let the world rush by while you stand rooted in your unshakable truth. When the room descends into chaos, be the anchor that brings everyone back to reality. Your quiet demeanor is not weakness, it is calculated restraint. They will wonder what you are thinking. They will fear what you might do next. And, in that uncertainty, you hold all the cards. The performance is over. Your silence was the most eloquent speech you ever gave, and the world is now applauding your quiet and powerful wisdom. Mastery is the goal. Silence is the path. Every day is a chance to practice the art of not speaking and the immense power of listening. The circle is complete. The lesson is learned. Silence is not just a technique. It is a profound way of being in a very loud world. Take a deep breath. Feel the power of the quiet flowing through your veins. You are now equipped with the ultimate social weapon. You are now ready to dominate every room you ever enter. From this day forward, now, for the last 8 seconds of this journey, we will practice exactly what we have learned. Simply listen to the quiet and be still.